Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the charts of 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧, taking a look at that price action at a macro level, giving my thoughts on where I think this bear market is heading for 𝗕𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧 and what I think could happen in the next bullish market. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out, linked in the description below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Let's jump right down into the charts. We'll try to keep this one nice and brief and on point. So let's kick things off with the bear market structures. So for 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧, it's been a pretty interesting market so far. And we do predict that we still haven't hit the bear market low points just yet. Okay, we can see that we had an existing low back in June of 2022. This was 31.6 cents according to the Binance chart. And again, we're paired up with USDT for reference. Now, we had a good run higher and we kind of broke above the EMAs here. So we had the 50 SMA, we broke above that, and we broke above the 50 exponential moving average. However, the price has come down quite aggressively since, as per kind of our expectations to a point. We are now sat below the weekly 200 moving average and lower than that of the 50. And we can see that there's a little bit of a cross potential on the horizon here when it comes to those exponential moving averages. Take it into a daily chart, you can see a little bit more of that detail, and you can see that we have this suppression here with death crosses that happened back over in May of 2023, really spurring on that move to the downside. Now we have got these very impulsive movements internally in here as well. So we can see that for the most part, we are aggressively moving to the downside, and we are below all of those EMAs, the 50 SMA, the 50 EMA, and the 200 EMA. So price is definitely being suppressed. We can see that the stochastic RSI is also high, looking for major corrections to the downside as well. Let's bring it back to the weekly time frame here. So in our weekly time frame, we can note that there is this idea that we have to come down into a new bear market low point. Now, as you can see, we had a 5-wave drop from the peak. So we peaked up at $2.92.3, and we had a 5-wave drop to the downside to June 2022. Okay, now that means we have a nice corrective pattern to the upside. And again, this is a 3-wave function. You can see it right in here, okay, with a shorter than usual C wave. And then we get this turn to the downside. Now, for those who do not understand Elliott wave theory, when you have a 5-wave move like this, and this is what is called an impulsive 5-wave trigger, okay, or a 5-wave structure, in here, there are some fundamental basics, right? You'd have your Fibonacci retracement tool for the wave 3 would peak above the 1.618. Okay, it must be greater than 1.618. Wave 4 is not allowed to cross wave 1, and wave 5 is typically going to land between 1 and 123.6. Okay, sorry, between 123.6 and 1.618 down here, right? So you essentially see an impulsive trigger like this. Okay, that is what's happened on 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧. Now, when you have a 5-wave pattern like this, as you see here, it cannot be in isolation. Okay, you cannot just have 5 waves on their own. So what you tend to find is you have a 3-wave correction, and then this is followed up by an additional 5-wave impulsion to the downside in this particular case here. And this is what is called a zigzag. So you might have heard the term zigzag pattern. A zigzag pattern essentially is a 5-wave down, 3 waves up, and 5 waves down. There's also something called an inverted zigzag, but I just think it's bonkers. It's basically the same thing, just reversed to the upside. But for the most part, it's a 5-3-5. May is another term you might have heard, zigzag pattern, or a 5-wave impulsive move, 3 waves, and then another 5 waves. Okay, there's lots of different types of 5-wave structures, and this is the one that I think is most important when it comes to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧 here, because we can see a 5-wave drop, 3 waves up. We should be expecting a 5-wave drop. Our target range is down here at 10.07 cent to 17 cent. And that sounds absolutely crazy, I know, right? What's going to possibly cause so much selling pressure that price goes down that low? And there's many different reasons and rationales behind this. We have to understand that 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧 has a use case, which is basically scaling Ethereum. And there's also the FTX sales and things like that that's going on. So if demand really does dry up, in a crypto winter, and we do see less demand for Matic through use case, and we see selling pressure from the FTX liquidations, for example, we may find ourselves in a very similar situation where actually, yeah, 17 cent seems plausible. Now, our minimum expectation, though, if we're being truthfully honest, should be a double bottom scenario, as in 31.6. The minimum expectation on that C wave would always be a double bottom, and so we always hold hope that that is the possibility here for Polygon's Matic. So the bear market looks like we've still got a little bit more to go. We aren't yet done with the lows for Matic. But what about the next bullish market? Well, the next bullish market actually looks pretty good, because we can see that in 2020 and through 2021, we actually had a 5-wave pattern to the upside. And there's lots of different ways we can actually look at this. And I think for the most part, it's actually over here. So we have this one coming into a wave 2 over this side, right? So we have a 5-wave move to the upside with a truncated 5th wave movement. Again, we have the 5-wave internal structure there, but we don't have the impulsion level that you would normally expect of a 5-wave. This is pretty common, and we saw this with many other cryptocurrencies, not just Polygon's Matic. Take a look at Bitcoin, for example, very similar, and many other altcoins like Cardano as well have this exact truncation right in here. Then, of course, we have the correction to the downside. So as I said earlier, right, that inverted or zigzag pattern, right? We have 5 waves going up. Then what's the next expectation? Okay, well, it's going to be a 3-wave correction to the downside, or a correction to the downside. Okay, so we have that correction coming down, and then we have another 5-wave move to the upside. Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom. We just have to appreciate that there's structure that we have to kind of adhere to, which means that we're going to be expecting a 5-wave move to the upside. So to give ourselves a really conservative target on where Polygon's Matic could go, we have to use that 10-cent low point. That's going to predict down the worst case scenarios for Polygon's Matic, right? Bearing in mind, we drop down significantly lower. So if we were to see a 5-wave move to the upside, how high could it go? Well, theoretically, and it is just theoretical, we could see $46 to $195. Do I think that's actually going to happen? I think that's a very tough target. Yes, it is possible with an inflow of institutional level of investors. We see Bitcoin spot ETFs. I think Ethereum spot ETFs are just around the corner, and these things are going to have a profound effect on this layer 2s as well. So I think Polygon's Matic will do incredibly well because of that. Realistically speaking, though, I think it's probably going to be better to focus in on the areas that actually are going to be major resistances for us. So we can see $4.44, that being the 618, that's going to be a key area, and $12.41. So for me, I think it's going to be safer to say, let's aim for $12 and see how price reacts for that, but also be aware that we're going to find upper resistance at the previous all-time high and at the $4.44 area, right? These are going to be key areas for us, and where I think we are going to potentially see the future of Polygon's Matic in that next bullish market whenever that does come. I cannot time the market, and of course this is just for entertainment purposes and just my thoughts and opinions on where I think Polygon's Matic can go. Let me know what your thoughts are on this down in the comments below, but I think that's going to wrap up today's video on Polygon's Matic at the macro level. If you found it useful, smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe, and if you haven't joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out, linked in the description below. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.